Howdy everyone, and welcome to your first lesson on American cinema, which is another module in the film studies course. And today's lesson we're going to be looking at genre with a particular focus on sci-fi. First thing I want you to do is I want you to pick a starter. You can either do the easy one, name 10 sci-fi films. You could do the medium one, which is give 5 similarities between sci-fi films. Or the hard one, what are the sci-fi subgenres? Okay, and I've put there a little tip for you. Sci-fi means science fiction, in case you weren't sure. So it's up to you which starter you want to do. Complete those now. Pause the video, 5 minutes. Okay, so hopefully, at the very least, you're able to come up with 10 sci-fi films. Some of the similarities might be the fact that you got advanced technology or aliens within them, etc., or set in the future. And if you did the hard task, we're going to be looking at what the subgenres are in just a second. Let's move on. All right then. So, now around this black box in the middle, you'll notice that there are lots of sci-fi films. You may have seen some, you may not have. I do recommend, I think, all of them. Yeah, they're all pretty impressive. So maybe Skyline's a bit rubbish. All right then, so let's move on. Science fiction is a genre of fiction typically dealing with the imaginative concepts such as advanced science and technology, spaceflight, time travel, and extraterrestrial life. Science fiction often explores the potential consequences of scientific and other innovations and has been called a literature of ideas. That's a wordy way of saying that it kind of represents our daily life through these different technological advancements and alien invasions. All right then, so on the next few slides, there are going to be some subgenres, and what I'd like you to do is summarise, based on the films that I put in front of you, what goes into that subgenre. I am not going to read. I'm not going to read them for you. Okay. So pause the video on each one and tell me what are the features of that subgenre. So the first one is space travel. Read these examples and then summarise your findings then. Okay, so the sorts of things you might have covered there is the idea of travelling from different locations, etc., and perhaps war zones, etc. Okay, so that's space travel. Next, time travel. Pause the video, summarise your findings. Okay, so we won't go through all of them because this is quite straightforward. Next one, advanced tech. Pause the video. Summarise. And then you've got aliens. I think this is the last one. Okay then, so what you should have done then is summarise what are the different features of each of these subgenres. Okay, now let's have a look at the alien subgenre in sci-fi. Alien sci-fi films are usually often used to explore social and political issues for filmmakers. District 9 explores class, poverty and discrimination. What I'd like you to do is tell me what are the features of District 9 that apply to most films about aliens. For example, fear of aliens. Okay, put a subheading of conventions of alien sci-fi films. So could you think about the sorts of alien films that you know, and in what way does District 9 fit into those features? Okay, pause the video, 5 minutes. What goes into District 9 that is often seen in sci-fi films about aliens? Okay, so the sorts of things you might have covered then, it might be that you've got like a conflict between the two of them. It could be that you've got an alien invasion. It could be different like spaceships coming down and then people fearing for their lives, etc. Okay, so there's the sorts of things that went into District 9, and it mentions there class, poverty and discrimination. As it says, sci-fi is all about exploring modern day issues but in the future or in a different scenario with sci-fi involved. And then there's this guy called Gary Westphal, and he says science fiction aliens are both metaphors and real possibilities. One can question the nature of humanity with aliens in order to illustrate and comment upon human nature. Still, as evidenced by widespread belief in alien visitors and efforts to detect extraterrestrial radio signals, humans also crave companionship in a vast, cold universe, and aliens may represent hopeful images of the strange friends we have been able to find. Thus, aliens will likely remain a central theme in science fiction until we actually encounter them. So he's kind of summarising there why we focus on aliens. They are metaphors, definitely, in lots of different ways, but they are also like a window into our creative mind, what we're expecting when we do eventually come across aliens, even though we haven't just yet. Okay, which I found really interesting. Now, the video I want you to watch next, then I'm not going to put it onto this video. I've put a link here, but obviously you can't click that. So I want you to search for the Wisecrack video called "The Hidden Meaning in Avatar Earthling Cinema." Okay, so if you just type that into YouTube, you'll find you'll find a summary of how Avatar is a metaphor with using the aliens. And what I'd like you to do is summarize your findings of the video. Okay, so look up that video and summarize what the findings are. It's gonna. I think, what's it say there? It's about a 5-minute video, and it should take you another 10 minutes to summarize that. Okay, pause the video, go watch that, and then summarize what the video tells us. Okay, let's move on. All right, final activity. What I'd like you to do then is kind of summarise what we've kind of covered in this lesson. Then you've done a lot of just reading and writing, and now wanting to come up with a summary. So summarise the sort of genre of sci-fi. Ensure that you include key themes that are involved in each of the films, key films that actually come under sci-fi and the topics they explore, and what sci-fi can tell us about our world. All right, that's your final activity. I recommend about 10 minutes on that. No longer than 10 minutes. Summarise the genre of sci-fi. What are the key themes? What are the key films? And what topics they explore? And what do you think sci-fi can tell us about our own world? Okay, that's your final activity. See you in the next video.